So I have a travel news update for you, and it's a bit of an emerging story actually regarding what's going on with Ryanair and cancellations, which I'm seeing many of you guys are experiencing. Plus, I've got news as well of a delay to Ryanair's move to digital boarding passes. I also have some good news for you from over here in Mallorca as well, with the announcement of 2 new direct airline routes starting in 2026. But I'm going to start this video from over here in the very lovely and beautiful Ilietes. We've got highs today of around 26 degrees. It's an absolutely gorgeous breezy day, but I thought I'd just jump on the channel today because if you have a flight booking with Ryanair for any time from now going through 2025 and indeed also for next summer for 2026, go and check your flight booking now. Go and check it because you may well find that it's been changed or cancelled. Now, I've seen this issue arise over the past 48 hours from a flurry of social media posts, and we're not just talking about Spain here. We're not talking about Spain. We're talking about flights to basically everywhere on the Ryanair network. And obviously, if your flight has been changed, it's going to affect your travel arrangements, whether it means getting to or from the airport. It could affect your car parking that you've got booked. It could affect pet care, but most importantly, it could actually affect your hotel booking as well. And I've seen cases where people are now out of pocket from having to shell out for an extra hotel night in their destination just because their booking has in fact been changed. So this is why I'm asking you to go and check your Ryanair flight now. Now, they're not necessarily going to email you either about this flight change, and I'm just looking at a post here from the Ryanair Facebook group. I have to say it's an unofficial Facebook group as well. It's not the official one. I don't think an official one does exist. But the post does say, my return flight times have drastically been altered for next June. One passenger said, they're doing it to everyone. I've had 3 different holidays changed in the last week, one of them being by 24 hours. There's another comment too. What's going on? Same with me, but an inbound flight. They are still advertising the flight that they've made me change. It's altered my holiday by 25%. Customer service is so bad, I will never use Ryanair again. Plus another comment. My flight has been changed by 24 hours coming home, and I've had to pay an extra 133, I'm guessing this might be pounds, for an extra night in a hotel. And in fact as well, it's not just on this unofficial Ryanair Facebook group, but in other places as well, including a Facebook group from over here in Mallorca. And there's a post here saying, Ryanair cancelling flights for next year. Just got an email, my flight's been cancelled. Another comment, us too. In fact, I didn't get any email, but by chance I just logged onto my Ryanair app and it was cancelled on the My Booking section. I've got no email at all. Another comment, I'm meant to be on the Stagger in Budapest June next year, got an email yesterday, flights cancelled, WTF is that all about? And just for reference as well, a Stagger, if you're not UK based, a Stagger is an abbreviation for stag do. So, you know, the big party you have before you get married, for guys anyway. Another comment, they have cancelled our June flights too. Another comment, they've cancelled our flights for September at the weekends to Lanzarote from Scotland, and I've just booked accommodation. Another comment, I've had mine for Fuerteventura changed by 24 hours and I've had to pay for an extra night in the hotel. Another comment, I've had mine changed this time for next September. In fact, there are dozens and dozens of comments about this, and I haven't really been digging around social media that deeply. These are just a few initial comments that I have spotted. Now, you may remember a couple of weeks ago I did make a video about Ryanair pulling around 1 million seats from Spanish regional airports, and this is all due to an increase of airport fees. They've also recently announced as well scrapping 3 routes out of Vienna and pulling out 3 of its 19 aircrafts based there from its winter schedule, and demanding that Austria scrap its aviation tax and lower airport and air traffic control fees. So I think Ryanair really is pushing back now on fees, and they're having a whole changeover of slots and times too. I mean, it really is quite incredible. So are we going to be seeing further flight cancellations? Are we going to be seeing further flights being rescheduled? I mean, is this war against airport charges going to continue too? I mean, are you definitely going to be going on holiday? I mean, am I definitely going to be travelling very soon as well? I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. And can we expect big things coming from Ryanair? I don't know. But at the same time as all of this as well, and just taking a look at their Facebook page, they're actually announcing some really exciting new routes from regional airports. And I'm talking from the UK here. They've got some great new airport routes that have been popping up from regional airports. So it seems quite contradictory that they're changing times, they're cancelling flights, yet they're launching new routes at the same time. So will you be entitled to compensation if they radically change your flight? This is the information that you do need to know. So what do Ryanair say about all this, and where do you guys stand as well if your flight has been changed? So I popped straight over to the official Ryanair site, to the section that says, if I accept the rescheduled flight time, am I entitled to any compensation or expenses? And it says you may be entitled to compensation or expenses as set out in the following notice of your rights under. And they say you are not entitled to compensation when you are notified about the rescheduling of your flight more than 14 days before its scheduled departure date. So this may well apply actually to many of you guys who have flights rescheduled for next year. They also say you are not entitled to compensation when you are notified about the rescheduling between 2 weeks and 7 days before the scheduled flight time or departure and are offered rerouting, allowing you to depart no more than 2 hours before the scheduled time of departure and reach your final destination less than 4 hours after the scheduled time of arrival. Gosh, that's quite a lot to figure out, isn't it? But anyway, yeah, I'll leave you to work that out if that affects you. But also, finally as well, they say you are not entitled to compensation when you were notified about the rescheduling less than 7 days before the scheduled time of departure and are offered rerouting, allowing you to depart no more than 1 hour before the scheduled time of departure and to reach your final destination less than 2 hours after the scheduled time of arrival. Now, I don't know what they mean as well. I have to say, I don't know what they mean about being notified because, as you heard previously, some people didn't actually receive emails about the change to their flight. So is the notification, does this come in the form of being notified on the app? When you open up the app and, whoa, you know, my flight's just been changed, maybe that counts as a notification, who knows? All I can say is keep checking that app as well as we go on through the winter and we move on through the summer. Now, I also have to say as well that I think the biggest risk to travel, not only to you guys coming over here on holiday and having to pay for extra room nights, it's going to be for extreme day trippers. And well, Palma over here in Mallorca is probably one of the most popular extreme day trip destinations. If you fly in to Palma Airport early in the morning, you can have a full day in Palma and even go to the beach, sip on the sangria before getting the last flight back at night. So Palma is a great extreme day trip destination. Just be careful if you're coming here for the day, and make sure you just check the app as well, and just make sure your flights haven't been changed, otherwise it's not going to make the whole day worth it, basically. Also as well, if you're on a late flight with Ryanair, this is why I always advocate flying earlier on in the day. If you're arriving to your destination later on in the day and that flight does get changed and pushed back even further, if you're expecting to hire a car at the airport that you're getting to, it could be that the car hire hall is closed when you get there, and it'll mean that you'll have to go back the following day to go and pick up your car, which is going to mean a couple of really expensive taxi journeys as well. So also bear that in mind too. So finally, let me know how you guys are getting on in the comments. Go and check your Ryanair flight. Let me know how you get on. Has your flight been delayed, cancelled, moved or rerouted or whatever? Let me know in the comments below. But like I said, I just wanted to let you know about this key piece of news that I'm seeing popping up all over social media at the moment. Okay, so moving on, I've got more Ryanair news. I mean, this is the airline that just keeps on giving in terms of news, but you may remember in the previous video I made, it may have been in one of my island updates, that I mentioned that Ryanair would be moving to paperless boarding through the mandatory use of the Ryanair app, and this was due to start on the 3rd of November this year. Now, it's actually been delayed until the 12th of November, and this is going to affect about 20% of passengers who are not using the Ryanair Ryanair app and they maybe don't use a smartphone either. So what can you do, and actually how's this going to affect you? Because I do appreciate that there may well be some elderly passengers flying Ryanair and they don't have a smartphone and they don't have the app either. So my advice is get someone to check in for you, and that really is the important bit. Because while, and just referring to the press release here, while they said they want to ensure a seamless switchover after the busy midterm break to this new digital process, I want to refer you over to a podcast actually, and it's a direct quote from the chief executive of Ryanair himself, from Michael O'Leary. He was having a conversation with travel guru Simon Calder, and I'm going to quote him here word for word. If you do not have access to a smartphone and if you don't have the Ryanair app, he said, as long as you've checked in before you've got to the airport, we will reissue a paper boarding pass free of charge. But you will have had to have checked in before you get to the airport. Now, I will drop a link to that podcast episode in the description text below. It's come straight from the horse's mouth. I'm not calling you a horse, Michael O'Leary, but I'm just saying that pensioners needn't worry if they're coming over. If they're flying Ryanair, if they do not have access to a smartphone or the Ryanair app, get your travel agent or a friend to check in for you, and then go to the airport, see a member of the Ryanair team, and they will issue you with a paper boarding pass. So it's not a complete scrapping of it, but I just do want to put your mind at rest as well, so you're not panicking about having to get out and buy a smartphone and then go on to learn how to use it. Okay, so my final piece of news for this week, and it's some good news, and it's got nothing to do with Ryanair. As I said at the beginning of this video, I am Mallorca based, and I'm very delighted to announce that we have 2 more exciting routes, some international routes coming into Palma Airport from next year. We already have a United Airlines flight from Newark Airport in New York direct to Palma Airport, but as of next year we will soon be welcoming Air Canada to Mallorca with direct flights from Montreal, which is great news. I've got family over in Canada. Plus, as well, Etihad will be starting a route from Abu Dhabi coming straight to Palma Airport as well, which is also fantastic news. I also have a friend working over in Abu Dhabi in an international school too, so I might even get to see her as well. Anyway, this is fantastic flight news. This really is good news for the island, and it really is opening up Mallorca to other holiday makers too. Okay everyone, that's it for this week. I will be back with my island update from over here in Mallorca on Monday. I'll be live streaming on Sunday. I've got more holiday guides, walk-arounds, travel tips, and more coming out on the channel as well, particularly if you're coming out for the final few weeks of the holiday season. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook and on the Instagram page too. If you have any questions about your holiday, do head on over to the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group. Don't forget to join that. I'll be back with more flight news when I have it, but in the meantime, thanks for watching and I shall see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.